So online, we had this conversation. It started with Hunter's post. So Hunter, in a quick few minutes, can you kind of highlight what you're talking about there?
Yeah, so the idea is that Exchange admins are kind of in this unique position to be the leaders in this transition of Office 365 because they traditionally, more organizations have email services. They've adopted more of email services. Email is this kind of ubiquitous thing that everybody uses, right? And as we know, Exchange admins frequently have a little bit going on with Active Directory. If there's a SharePoint environment with the sharing and everything that goes on there, especially with like security and distribution groups, they've got a little bit of a hand in like SharePoint and the OneDrives and everything that's happening in the organization. And traditionally, there's been this heavy importance placed on Exchange, and like a lot of customers I talk to, the Exchange admins are the AD admins because they're the only ones that really understand everything that's going on with it, right? And so, yeah, so the point is that they're in this unique position to kind of take the lead in these organizations where you see a lot of chaos happening in the IT department, where roles aren't clearly defined. And if, let's say, the IT manager or the CIO isn't really organizing things, right? We talk to so many IT teams and there's just chaos. And so what I wrote is that they're in this unique position to kind of stand up, take the lead, and help organize things because they see a little bit more of all the services that are happening there.
So we're talking about post deployment here, right? We're not talking about
Mm-hmm.
who should migrate, who should deploy. We're saying, companies are already using this, but who should be that chokeable neck who's taking the lead, making the calls, making decisions. For me, while I see where you're coming from, Hunter, but for me, I think it should be that SharePoint admin or whoever that SharePoint lead is, should be the Office 365 lead as well. I'm not saying they don't work with the other teams. They have to work with the Exchange folks, the AD, security folks. But if a hard decision has to be made, for example, how do we turn on group self-service or not, or other platform-wide decision from a technical perspective, I think SharePoint folks should be taking the lead. Fred, Craig, any thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, to that point with regards to permissions wise, this is one of the key things with regard SharePoint and Exchange. Uh, I'm with experience that permissions is going to be messy if you don't necessarily have that governance, and it might be different between Exchange and SharePoint, but information architecture wise, it is closer to SharePoint when you're trying to do governance on permissions.
So, what's your vote then, Fred? Who should be taking the lead from an operational perspective?
Well, qualities wise, as I mentioned, the SharePoint guy has that closer to the end user, being able to specify what permissions do we need to structure the sites or the site collections and all that. Right?
Got it. Craig, thoughts?
Yeah, I kind of have to agree with you. I thought we were well. I get where Hunter's coming from, but yeah. So like every implementation that I've done started out with AD and Exchange because that's what people want to get up there first, and they need to get all that identity management and that kind of stuff. But really, once it gets up there and gets started running with those, I haven't seen a whole lot of need to maintain that over the time. So then you get SharePoint comes in and we start setting up the SharePoint and the OneDrive and the Teams and all that gets driven. But I'm going to go slightly. I don't know if that's IT, so to speak, because once that's set up, who should be handling that, right? Because you start talking more architectural and strategy, and then going into governance. Is that an IT person? Is that an IT? I mean, I don't think it's a typical IT pro, right?
Yeah, because
It's a
the
different skill
problem
set there.
Yeah, the problem today is there's no well-defined role for an Office 365 admin, right? So
Right.
I
That's
think
the
that
whole
will
deal.
come. I think through time that will come. But
Yeah.
today, Office 365 as a platform, good or bad, you got to know a lot.